The following is a paid advertisement. The views expressed are the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
Put the power back in your hands. This is Behind the Law with attorney Justin Clark.
Welcome to Behind the Law. Do we ever have a great show lined up for you today? Remember, as always, we are here to answer your questions right now. I will leave the phone number on the screen the entire time, 321-282-1055. As always, my co-host Makaila Nichols is here. Hello, Makaila. How are you?
Great.
You ready to go? Wait
Always.
till you hear what we have lined up today. It's going to be pretty awesome. First of all, we start with Rajan Joshi, criminal defense attorney to the stars, talking about sex crimes. What do they mean? What can't you do? A little bit touchy, but there are times where weird things happen out there also. Dr. Chung joins us. He's a chiropractic physician, talking about when you need to go see your chiropractor. Michael Mills also joins us to talk about personal injury law and so much more to get to today. Are you ready?
As always, I am.
Here's what we're going to do. Very short break. When we return, more of Behind the Law.
Managing your investment property is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Sign up at GoRent123.com. 2. Let Greater Orlando Realty handle everything for you when it comes to managing your property. From qualifying tenants to collecting rent, processing maintenance requests, and everything in between. 3. Sit back, relax, and count all that money you're making. Earning passive income on your property is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with Greater Orlando Realty. Visit GoRent123.com today.
Back here with you live. If you have any questions at all, we're standing by to answer them right now. 321-282-1055. As we are every week, joined by our good friend Rajan Joshi. Rajan, how are you, sir?
Doing good, thank you.
Fascinated by this question because I'm sure this is something that comes up at your criminal defense law firm often. We have people who are in high school, all right, and some are older than others. You might have a senior who's 19 who falls in love with a sophomore who is 16 or who is 15. What does Florida criminal law say about someone who is over the age of 18 engaging in sexual activity with someone who's at the same school, but they happen to be under 18?
Well, Florida law is a little bit complicated in this area because a lot of people think that the age of consent is 18. And for the most part, that is true, but there is kind of an exception, like someone who's 16 or 17, if they have a relationship, even a sexual relationship with anyone under 24, if it's consensual, it's not a crime. So in your situation, the 19-year-old dating the 16-year-old is legal.
Okay.
The 15-year-old, now that person's looking at some serious consequences, kind of rape convictions and even, being a sexual offender.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What is the difference between sexual offender and sexual predator?
Sexual predator is a little bit more, both of them are horrible designations, and people who have these designations, basically, their lives are over. But there's more stringent requirements on the sexual predator aspect than there is on the offender. Both are very similar. I mean, it just depends on the type of crime. Certain crimes, characterize the person as a sexual predator, and the supervision and monitoring is going to be a lot more strict on that.
Let's take you through a hypothetical here.
Okay.
Let's say I'm a little bit older, okay? I'm now out of college. I'm 28 years old. I'm down at the local club downtown, and this girl walks over and she says, I'm 18. Or she says, I'm 19. And I'm like, oh, cool. I buy her a couple of drinks because she got in the club, no problem. One thing leads to another. We go home and sexual activity, I'm just trying to use the nicest words I can, okay? They have sex. And turns out she was only 17 when that happened. She told me she was 19. She was only 17. What happens to me?
In Florida, ignorance of the person's age is no defense.
Wow.
She can show you a fake ID, she could be in college, she could look like she's 26, but if she's under the age and you're over the age and you have sex, even if you don't know it, you're looking at liability as, with a sexual conviction and being a sex offender, which, in those type of situations, it's kind of unfair.
I mean, people are looking a little bit older these days. I mean, it is a little bit scary, and the fact that they could show you a fake ID and the liability is still on me it makes me a little bit nervous. If you think I'm not going to the clubs or anything, I'm not 28, as anyone at home knows. But it makes me concerned for someone who is around that age group, and people are looking older these days. Now, how much weight does the state put on the fact that, okay, this victim did show him a fake ID. She did say she was of age. Does that change how they prosecute the case at all?
It depends on how the attorney, articulates it.
Yeah.
In some situations, the state may end up, if you do a good job and you present the case as well. I've had situations where they then agree to knock the case down to a misdemeanor, contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Really?
But in those type of cases, usually my client is, a really good person, made a mistake, had a relationship with someone who lied to them, and sometimes I even have text messages or emails where they're talking about doing adult things,
right?
And so that makes a difference. Other times, it's strict liability. There's no defense. If they can prove you had sex with someone that you shouldn't have because of the age, the ramifications can be very severe.
Well, I think this is one of those situations as well where if you're charged with a crime like this is serious stuff. You're facing significant jail and or prison time. What is the state going to seek? How much time are they going to try to lock me away?
It depends on the evidence of the case. A lot of times what the state does is they put them on sexual offender probation when it's a he said, she said. And these conditions are very stringent. I mean, even the most law-abiding citizen has a hard time, going past these conditions, and they wait for them to mess up, and then they get them. Other times they just ask for prison or ask for, and the person is going to be designated a sex offender. So in certain cases, it is imperative to defend them, as rigorously as possible. Now, I am in no way behind any type of rape case or any type of violence against women, but there are certain situations where people are wrongfully accused.
Yeah, and we see it all the time too. And let's be very, very clear. This is one of those situations where if you're charged with some sort of sex crime or someone in your family is, it's not always true, but this is maybe the most important time. Investing in a great criminal defense lawyer is going to be one of the most important investments of your life. You can ask questions right now at 321-282-1055. I will connect you with Rajan right now if you want to talk offline, which we certainly understand. He'll call you back right after the show. But it leads me to another question too, and there was the picture out, I think he was with Los Angeles, and he was accused of being rough in the bedroom with someone, and he said no, that she wanted it rough. Mm-hmm. She wanted to get hit or whatever. And she said, no, I didn't ask for that. That's a he said, she said type of thing, but I don't think they actually charged him with anything, but there's got to be a line there. And I mean, how does the state decide what to charge people with in that situation?
A lot of times it depends on the investigation the police do. When the police are going to do an investigation, they should do a thorough investigation. And what they should do is when the victim comes to them is they should have the victim do what's called a controlled phone call, in which they reach out to the defendant, not let them know that they've gone to the police and say, hey, you did this to me, and get a reaction. Yeah. And if the guy says, no, don't go to the police, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, then they've got that confession right there. Or they should then confront the person and get their side of the story and see how the person reacts and how they describe what happened. Because yes, a lot of these are he said, she said, and unfortunately, innocent people do get convicted. I've been in trial where I had a lady up there accusing my client. He said it was consensual. They had a former relationship, but she gave so many inconsistent stories, and by the time I was done with her, I got her on the stand. I pointed at her. I said, "You're lying," and she said, "Yes." It took 6 minutes for the jury to exonerate my client.
It's very easy for us to sit here and say, "Of course, we don't support sex crimes or sexual assault. You don't support it.
No,
I don't support it either."
No, absolutely not.
But we have seen instances where things actually didn't happen, and there's more of sort of a gray line too. When does consent end?
Consent ends when the person makes it obvious they don't want to engage. I mean, it can be a push, it can be a no, and at that point, the other person should respect the boundaries that the person lays. If they don't respect the boundaries and they continue to push their way onto the female or whichever, then that's where it crosses the line. I mean, in Florida, in order to have sex, it's got to be both mutual consent and not no ambiguity as to what the other person's saying.
Have you ever seen a situation where it's husband and wife, been together 13 years, obviously been intimate together for 13 years, and then some point one of them ended that consent? Have you ever seen that between husband and wife?
Absolutely, absolutely. And usually when these allegations do come up, unfortunately, there's a house at stake, and there's a lot of other issues going on, and then there's an allegation. And one thing that does happen in these type of cases is, the victim is afraid to come forward a lot of times. And a lot of times, they hold back on it, and they're afraid to come forward, or they're embarrassed, or they're ashamed of it. And when they do come forward, luckily, the police, for the most part, and thankfully, don't just ignore it. They do listen to the person and do an investigation.
We've seen a lot of this, really a proliferation of teachers, coaches over the last decade or two being charged with sex crimes or reaching out on Snapchat to the students. Is there anything that's worse about a teacher doing it versus a regular person? Is there anything that protects our students more?
Well, the teacher is given a position of trust, right, with children, and so when, and it's also like if it's in a family setting, then the crimes are a little bit at that point increased, and the penalties increased because it's in a familial setting. So the person is in an environment where they should be safe. And with teachers, a lot of times the prosecutors take it a little bit more serious, because of the aspect that there's an entitlement of trust. Yeah.
What about email or any sort of electronic communication? So no one was touched, okay? We weren't even in the same house, but an adult was sending explicit things to a minor. How does the law look at that?
That's very serious, especially if there's any type of solicitation and using the computer. Yeah. It can be a state or federal offense when they try and solicit sex from a minor using a computer. In federal court, it's a 10-year minimum sentence.
Wow.
And yeah, those carry prison. And a lot of times the type of cases it's an undercover detective posing as a minor, and someone bites at the bait, and they show up, and they're in a world of trouble.
That's right. Rajan Joshi, always killing it on this show, buddy. We're lucky to have you. The people of Central Florida are lucky to have you. Thanks as always for being here.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back. You got it. If you've been charged with any type of crime, you have to call Rajan today, 321-282-1055. Literally, as soon as we step off of this stage, he will call you back to answer your legal questions. Quick break. Makaila, are you ready? I am. All right. One last quick break, or maybe one more after. I don't know. I'm lost
Something.
now. We might have two. We might have what? I don't know. But Behind the Law will continue. Does credit card debt have you spinning out of control? You are not helpless. At attorneys Justin Clark and Associates, our goal is to lower or even eliminate your credit card debt. Call me today or visit youhavepower.com and take back control of your financial life. Here we are with personal injury attorney Michael Mills. But Michael, you're way more than an attorney. You've been able to bridge the gap between doctor, lawyer, and consumer with your Injury Assistance Network, or IAN as it's known. Tell me about it.
Well, what it is basically it's a online personal injury network of providers, both medical and service, and it just helps personal injury attorneys and the general public find quality healthcare providers and service providers to take care of them when they've been injured in an accident.
Because the medical part of it is a huge piece in getting these clients recovered. You're a great personal injury attorney, though, as well. A lot of advertisement for PI guys out there. What separates you?
22 years.
Yeah.
My first 6 years, I did work for the insurance companies. I worked at one of the largest insurance defense firms in Florida. And then for the last 16 years, I've been representing the actual injured victims, as well as some of the providers as well, doing PIP work. Okay. So I'm able to take that, what I learned, and bring it to the plaintiff side. Excellent, man. Keep up the wonderful work. And whether you're a doctor, whether you're a lawyer, or a consumer who's been injured in an accident, call Michael Mills today. He's over on the good guy side, I would say, right? Yes, absolutely. What side did you like better? This side, definitely. I've come to the light. Exactly. I'm glad you did. Michael Mills, the Injury Assistance Law Firm. Give him a call today if you've been injured in an accident. But again, if you're a doctor or a lawyer, you need help finding help in that regard, call Michael Mills.
Is student loan debt holding you back? I'm attorney Justin Clark. You may have the power to lower or even eliminate the payments that have you living paycheck to paycheck. Call me now for a free consultation or visit youhavepower.com and take back control of your life. Welcome back, and for the first time on this show, we're going to talk about chiropractic care. Dr. Chung is here. Doctor, how are you?
Thank you.
Good to see you. Good. Go Aspire. You guys, really chiropractic care made for everyone. That's your statement. What does that mean?
Well, basically, chiropractic care is for everyone. Everyone get injured. Everyone's has bad posture. Things happen. So we're there to help restore function and help with the healing process.
This one walks behind me all the time and literally pulls my shoulders back. This is
your
not.
Posture is horrible.
Yeah.
I'm not making this up. She does it to me all the time. Can chiropractic care fix that problem for me, and how?
It's more of a maintenance. Essentially, what I do is I feel or palpate the fixation or restriction in the joint, and I use my hands and through education and training, I adjust that area so that there's proper nerve flow, there's proper range of motion in that joint.
I have never been to a chiropractor. I always really have been. I know Makaila has been to chiropractors before. How does it make you feel?
Great. I mean, I feel like a new person when I walk out of there.
Is that right?
Sometimes, it takes a little bit, or you feel something like after, as I'm sure people will attest to. But
now, I know a lot of you probably have not been to the chiropractor before. I mean, what is a reason why I would call you up and make an appointment to come see you?
Most of our patients that come through the door is pain. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they went through the medical route and hasn't really helped, and we're usually the last resort. And so typically we would see the patient a little bit more because of the length of time that they waited to come see us.
Now, I don't care about this at all because I'm a really tough guy, but maybe someone watching at home does have this question. How bad does it hurt?
How does it hurt? Typically it shouldn't hurt,
Okay,
maybe some pressure, but if you're in pain or not feeling well, it typically would be uncomfortable.
But then if I'm coming
condition.
in there with some sort of pain, yes, maybe I'm going to go through a little pain, but when I leave, should I be feeling immediately better as I walk out of there?
It depends on the case, the injury. Most of our patient does come out feeling better, and there are some that we're unable to help or need a little bit more treatment. In that case, sometimes I would refer out to our medical counterpart or kind of see them on a maintenance basis.
All right, Dr. Chung, take me through it. I'm walking in your office, which you have multiple, by the way. Pretty much anywhere in Central Florida, there's a location very near me. But I walk in the door for the first time, probably sign a couple forms. I finally walk back for my first visit to a chiropractor. Describe that scene.
Okay. Well, typically, our chiropractor will do an examination. Based on examination, we would refer out for imaging, whether it be x-rays or MRIs. Once we get that back, we'll do a treatment plan. In the meantime, we can offer modalities where it helps decrease the inflammation and help with the pain. As chiropractor, we don't prescribe medication, but we can use other type of physiotherapy to help.
Got it. What is the chair like? I mean, I've gotten a massage many times, of course, but I haven't been to the chiropractor. What does this chair look like? Do I take off my clothes? What is that experience? I'm not hoping I get to take them off. I'm just asking if I have to.
Yes. Well, we use a chiropractic table that could facilitate certain technique. You don't have to take off your clothes. Most of them, if you could be in a gown. Yeah, some chiropractors require a gown, but typically you're in your clothes, and we can kind of assess your posture that way.
And then what? You're pushing on me? You're pulling on me? What is it? What is the experience like?
Right. So first of all, we will palpate and or feel your spine, and if we find the restriction there, there are technique where it is kind of like pushing on the joint and also stretching as well. And typically you would hear a noise, and they call it cavitation. It's just through the law of physics. When you adjust a joint, the liquid would dissolve as gas, and you can hear that audible.
I gotcha. And you're on Behind the Law today, obviously, because you do help a lot of lawyers treat their patients. So when someone has an automobile accident, oftentimes they will come see you. Is it safe to say that many times the chiropractor is the first person I should come see after an accident?
For the most cases, they do come see me. With a case going on, I'm more or less the quarterback. If they need imaging or they need other modalities or a medical intervention, I can refer them out.
Gotcha. And a lot of times if someone has an accident, they don't need to worry about stroking a big check to you because I think they would be covered by insurance.
Correct. In the state of Florida, there's a thing called no fault, and a patient from an auto accident come in and get benefit that way through their car insurance.
Got it. So the first call, I think, for a lot of people, obviously if you're severely injured and you're going to take an ambulance to a hospital, that's one thing. But if, a couple of days later you're feeling back pain, would I call you first?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we could be the provider that can help with that.
And you say you're the quarterback in that, okay, so I'm going to go visit you. And then maybe you're saying, something feels a little bit off here, or you're having a little bit more pain than I would expect. And you can be the quarterback in that, okay, you can tell them to go get an MRI, or maybe that they need to go see an orthopedic surgeon. Is that how you play quarterback?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And then after I see the ortho, will I come back to you for more treatment chiropractically?
Right. For the main part, we handle your case. We refer out, like I said, orthopedic, pain management, or physiatry. We help in that regard.
One of the challenges, I think, sometimes when you have an automobile accident is, you still have your family, you still have your job, and a lot of times when you're getting chiropractic care, it can be 2 or 3 times a week, I presume. You have really strategically placed your offices where it's close for everyone. Where do you have offices?
We try to be around the Central Florida area. We have our north location, which is located in the Ivanhoe area. South can be in Winter Haven, Kissimmee, east and west, Central Florida.
Yeah, so pretty much anywhere. You can get there very quickly. How long does chiropractic care normally last? I have an accident, okay?
Correct.
I go see you, you're gonna take care of me. Is that a 2-week process, 2 months? What is average?
Right. Average, I see patients 2 to 3 months. And the reason is they've been in a car accident, their injuries are a little bit more severe, so it's a little more involved dealing with soft tissue injury. So it typically takes that long because we also do rehab and physical therapy there.
So you do rehab and physical therapy at your location?
Correct.
Oh, so you have the whole shebang. A lot of times if it's just soft tissue, they don't really need to go anywhere else, I guess.
Yeah.
When you say soft tissue, what does that mean exactly?
Soft tissue deals with your muscles, your ligaments and tendons, things that hold your spine together. And in a car accident, those tissue gets damaged or stretched. And what we focus on as well is the disc, which is a soft, more like a sponge in between the spine that helps with the support for. Oh man.
That's okay. They're big words. I certainly don't know them anyway, but I just know that most of the people that we've seen go see you 2 or 3 months later, they're feeling 100%. So much so that they like to go celebrate. And they like to celebrate at your new lounge. Tell me about it.
So yes, we just recently opened Eola Lounge, located in downtown by Lake Eola. And we have a lot of craft drinks, great food, and a good time.
Beautiful. Awesome to meet you, Dr. Chung. Go Aspire Chiropractic Care anywhere in Central Florida. If you've been injured in an accident, by all means, this should be your first call. If you're not going to the hospital, if you're just feeling a little pinch in your back, call Dr. Chung today, please, or visit his new lounge and right next to my old building, by the way, downtown. Nice. So I hate it wasn't there before, but we'll go check you guys out down there.
Appreciate it.
But also, if you're a lawyer in town and you don't have a great chiropractor that you trust to send your clients to, please give Dr. Chung a call. He's doing a fantastic job. He makes the medical records easy for you. Your lawyer clients, you really take good care of them. Yes. You know how to treat their patients.
Of course.
321-282-1055. This time, I promise you, it's one last quick break. When we return, it's What Did We Learn? Makaila and I are here at Pontoon Landing Resort and Marina, the best kept secret in all of Central Florida. Would you not agree?
Oh, it is.
Chris is here, the general manager. This is Old Florida here. This is a secret. This place is beautiful. Great rooms, great suites. If you want to spend the weekend, spend a week here. But also a lot of great things to do here during the week, Chris. What all do you offer?
So we have river tours. We have pontoon boat rentals, brand new pontoons. We have, you stay in the
Beautiful
rooms.
place. What about the river tour? I mean, we have manatees literally right outside the boat here. You do river tours, right?
Yeah, we do 2 of those, 10 and 1.
Yeah.
Wednesday through Sunday. And it's a tour all the way around Pontoon Island, go by Blue Springs.
This is Old Florida at its finest. Door to door for me, from my house, 45 minutes. I think downtown Orlando, an hour.
Yes.
Yet you feel like you're in a totally different world. How do you describe this setting?
A place like no other. This is so unique, and there's not very many places like this anymore.
You totally upgraded the rooms and suites. They're beautiful, stunning, in fact, very comfortable. How do you describe the rooms and suites here?
They've gotten a lot of love in the last year, and it's wonderful. And we're continuing to make that investment in Pontoon to continue to keep it as a place like no other.
And you can rent this boat here. The boats are brand new, but think about the rooms and suites too. They're all so unique. This is not a cookie cutter type place to stay.
No, it was designed as a fish camp, and all the rooms are very unique. So it's not like a big hotel where you have a bunch of these cookie cutter rooms. Yeah, they're all unique.
The dockside deli is awesome. We're building a tiki bar. We have beer. This place is unbelievable. I'm so impressed with what you have done. Chris, congratulations on what you guys are doing here and continue to do. And I've got to tell you, if you have not been out to this area, you're making a mistake. Pontoon Landing Resort and Marina, 45 minutes from my house, not more than an hour from yours. Come out and check it out.
Managing your investment property is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Sign up at GoRent123.com. 2. Let Greater Orlando Realty handle everything for you when it comes to managing your property, from qualifying tenants to collecting rent, processing maintenance requests, and everything in between. 3. Sit back, relax, and count all that money you're making. Earning passive income on your property is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with Greater Orlando Realty. Visit GoRent123.com today.
And we wrap it up today, as always, with what did we learn? Makaila, what did you learn today?
I learned that you should probably go get an adjustment. I think that would be really important for you.
I know. Why are we bashing me?
I'm not. I'm just saying. I mean, I think everyone.
Television.
Yeah.
I don't need to get bashed here.
Well, I think everyone should get adjusted.
I think so too. I think clearly I have bad posture. I need to work on that.
You said it.
I do. Like, I'll admit it. I do think I need to go to a chiropractor and work on my posture, no doubt about it. I also learned that Rajan Joshi is just fantastic when it comes to criminal defense. And, we obviously don't support any sort of sexual assault, but there are times where people will lie, and you got to be very careful about that, and you have to hire the right criminal defense attorney. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
No, I mean, he had a lot of insightful points.
He sure did. And I think you did amazing as always today. Thank you very much, Makaila Nichols. If you have any questions about anything we talked about today, the phone number's on the screen. We will call you back directly after the show. I'm attorney Justin Clark. We'll see you next week for more Behind the Law. I'm attorney Justin Clark. Call me now for a free consultation or visit youhavepower.com and take back control of your life.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement. The views expressed were the sole responsibility of the advertiser.